Now, with Year 7 Season 1, we are getting yet another boost in our expertise. But this is actually the biggest boost we have ever seen in one season. Now, typically, we would go up one expertise every season, but because we are getting the Year 7 Season 1 with the DLC, there are two expertise levels that we are getting come next month. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you what the new max is. I'm going to show you how it's going to affect your gear and builds. And we're going to talk about why there has to be a cap to expertise eventually. All right, here we go. What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like. Subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. But that's right, we have a new expertise cap come year 7 season 1. And that is expertise 30. So going to our expertise table, we will now have 432 items to max out. Now, I do have some secrets in this one, so if you stick around in this video, you might see some secret weapons that are not yet introduced into the game that are probably going to come with some future events. Now, there are several things added to make this level 30, so let's just go ahead and talk about it really quick. Going to the bottom, first up, we have the new gear set, so that will be measured assembly. For the brand set, under the expertise, we will then have the eminence armaments right here. For the skills, we will now have two new skills. Under smart cover, we will have the fortified and the precision. Now remember, you have to have the DLC to get the skill. So the issue is that now there are going to be things that you have to expertise upgrade that you might not actually even have access to, including this new skill that is locked behind the DLC. On top of that, we will then have two new masks. We will have the Catalyst, which is going to be locked behind the DLC. And we will have the new Tinkerer, which is your Alpha Bridge reimagining with the talent Abridged. Now that will be locked behind the climax mission of Year 7 Season 1. Now going to the knee pads, we will have the new knee pads, the cloak, and the new backpack. That is the Captain. Going to the weapons, this is where some surprises are going to come into play. Because under the assault rifles, we actually have a few new named assault rifles that are not in the game or PTS. First up, we have, it looks like a new named G35 called the Caretaker. Never seen this one before, but it's right here in the expertise table. We have another named AR right here called the Huntsman. So the Huntsman is a new named FAMAS. So we have a new G36 and a new FAMAS that are not in the game at all. Not only that, but then you have the Lud, right? And then we have under the SMGs, the Purist. Right here. So all of these contribute to the expertise going up to 30 because not only do we have a new gear set, brand set like we normally do, but now we're getting extra exotics, extra skills, extra named items, and I'm not sure if they're linked behind the DLC or not. We know that the Catalyst, we know the Smart Cover, both of those are going to be locked behind the DLC, but I'm not sure about what else. Nevertheless, the new expertise cap for Year 7 Season 1 will be 30. Right off the bat, I want to say that expertise was a good idea before they started to continue this game, because they cannot increase the gear score level. They can't go to like level 50 because of this system, the expertise system. They added this system into the game, and it has now blocked them from progressing the gear in any other way possible. Not only that, but expertise is one of the most grindy systems in the entire game, period. Because not only do you have to become proficient in all 432 items, but then you have to individually upgrade them. And it does not work across the board. For example, if I had AKM and I maxed out my AKM to 30, that doesn't then make all my AKMs 30. It would only make my one AKM 30, which then makes it a waste of materials to do to anything else in the game. So that's why years ago, when they introduced expertise, I said, just max out your weapons. If you want to, max out your skills, but don't even touch your gear items, because it's not worth it, because of the amount of materials that it's locked behind. Now, if they did it to where if you expertised one item, it's for all of them across the board, that could probably help them uh, get the opportunity to go to like a level 50 if they wanted to. But because it's individual items and they can't back out of that now, they're stuck with this expertise system that has no cap. Now, why is this such a big deal, and why am I harping so much on this expertise cap? Well, check this out, okay? Because I'm in the PTS, I started making all level 30 builds because I can, right? So, for example, if I want to go 3 red, 3 blue, I can do that and still get 1.5 million armor, which is ridiculous. I remember back in the day, 3 red and 3 blue, what was that, 1.2? Maybe? Maybe? And now it's 1.5 because of the expertise. The weapons are now going up 30%. So for a new player, you will then have a 30% less damaging weapon compared to someone like me who's going to be max come day one of year 7 season 1. I mean, let's be real. You use your printer filament, you can max it out really quick just by donating materials. Bada bing, bada boom, you're good. Now, the issue, right? Anyone can get to level 30. Anyone can get all of these items fully proficient. It's really not that hard. Not only that, but they give you these XP events to make it even easier. All right? That's not the issue. The issue then is a player gap where you're separating the veteran players from the newbies. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, because of these new expertise XP events, anybody can max out on their expertise. That does not mean that they have upgraded anything at all, because then you have to use materials to then upgrade the item. Like, you have to use all these materials from everywhere in the game to max out this expertise system. But then you have to actually go through these items individually. Now, let me just give you, I can give you 2 examples right now. So we could go backpack and we could go pistol. It's truly this simple. So if I wanted to max out my backpack, right? So I just picked up the, what was it? The strategic alignment. Boop-a-doop, right here. So in the bottom right, these are all the materials that it would cost to level you up. Now, first off, yeah, it doesn't seem like much, you know, you could do some upgrades here and there. But as you're going through this, they do increase, and then it changes. So if you've ever noticed in my videos, I typically stop my expertise upgrading around level 12. And I'm about to show you why. And this is where the expertise system is completely broken and way too expensive. And the only people that can benefit from this are veterans who have the time to invest into this. So, like I said, level 12. And bada bing, bada boom. So what happens here? Well, at level 12, it starts to cost exotic components. Now, yes, my numbers are all crazy high. It's because I'm in the PTS, and it's because they give you the materials if you know where to look. So I have crazy high numbers right now, but the average player is not going to have extra exotic components to the magnitude that you need to expertise upgrade your gear. So this is just at level 12. So that means for 18 more levels, for this one gear item, just one gear item, it's going to cost all of these exotics. Okay? So it's 1 for 12. And then it goes up to 2 right here at 14. All right? So then it's 2 per level. Then once you start to get higher, oh, now it's up to 3 exotics per level per item. You see what I'm getting at here? This is ridiculous. Because then by the time you even get to 20, you're already at 5. So check this out. Now we're at 5 exotics per. So that's 5 exotics per level, and we still have another 10 levels to go. That's another 50 exotics for the one item for my one build. And like I said, it's not like if I were to do this, it would then go to every single strategic alignment that I have. That would make sense. That would work. That would actually be smart. But instead, it is per item. So now, at this point, I think anybody who's expertise upgrading their gear items past 20 just plays so much that they just have such an abundance of exotics. Because I'm telling you right now, as a person who covers this game for a living, I don't have those exotics. How could I? That's so expensive. And that's only for one item. And for me, I do builds a lot. I do a lot of builds. Just in this PTS, I have like 13 builds. And if I were to do each of them at level 30, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of exotics that nobody has time to grind for. So then you keep going up, right? So then I think it goes up above 5. So look, now it's 6 exotics per. But wait, there's more. Because now it's 7 exotics per. I mean, we're not even talking about the shade calibration points or the field recon that you need. We're just talking about the exotics. Look, now it's 8 exotics per level. Per level. And this is per item. You can see where this is just stupid, right? Now it's 9 exotics per, people. Come on. Come on. Like, this is too much. And now we're at 10 exotics per level per item. It's too much. I think I've made my point. All right. And that's just One item. It's ridiculous. I'm not even going to do the weapon because it took so long just to do that one item. All right? It's ridiculous. So, what is this going to do for the veteran players? Well, for the veteran players, what we typically do is we max out our weapons every season. That way, when the next season starts, we just upgrade it that extra level or whatever. Because then it's not that expensive. If you're only doing it for your weapons and you max out your weapon that season, then every season, therefore, after, it's really not that bad. You know, it's a few exotics here, a few exotics there. They're all maxed out. Bada bing, bada boom. But to the new and returning players, all you're doing is you're furthering and furthering that gap to where me hitting 2 million is going to be, you know, Bob hitting for 800,000. And he's going to be like, yo, why does he hit twice as hard as I do? And it's like expertise, dude. And it's just, it gets ridiculous at that point. That's all. That's what I'm getting at here with this whole new expertise cap. Because, yeah, we're getting a lot of things added like we do every season. But this is a system in the game that either needs to find a cap or they need to just completely rework it. And in my opinion, the way to rework it is make it to where when you expertise upgrade your item, it works for every single item under that category. So if I upgrade my Slayer, every single Slayer I ever see should be that level. If they do it that way and reimburse, I don't know, I don't even know if they can reimburse people. Because, for example, if I have two of the same weapons that have different attributes and I want them both maxed out, and then they just make them all maxed out, then I'm losing all those materials I spent. So then would there even be a way to compensate? I mean, it's such a dark hole that they put themselves in. I don't know if they could dig themselves out of. What do you guys think? If this were on you, how would you change this system? Because clearly the expertise system is flawed because come year 7, season 1, I'm going to have my weapons at level 30. Are you? All right. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. And peace out.